y'all, welcome back to my channel, Plates of Love from Texas. I hope y'all are doing wonderful today. I don't know about y'all, but it's getting a little chilly up here in North Texas, so figured we'd actually take a little bit of a slower time. I've actually been getting quite a few requests for this one, so we're gonna be tackling my mom's Caldo de Pollo recipe. So this is something that she would always make for us when it got a little chillier, a little crisp in the air. She would always make this for us, one of my favorites. So it is a little more time consuming than those recipes that we have been making, so it definitely needs a little more time to kind of get that chicken, the vegetables, to kind of all those flavors meld together and get that beautiful Caldo de Pollo recipe and flavors that we all love. So let's go ahead and get this here up and get to cooking. All right, y'all, so for this Caldo de Pollo recipe, this feeds about 3 to 4 people. As you know, we don't know how to cook for small portions, so yeah, this is this is quite a bit, but if you know it makes dinner, lunch the next day, then some more. So what you're gonna need, of course, some chicken. So this is about 6 drumsticks. This is 7 actually. There's a couple that are small, so we're doing 7 drumsticks here. Then some whole peeled tomatoes in a can, and then your vegetables. So we have carrots. These are just the ones in a bag. I used half a bag, so it's a 1 pound bag. I just used half. Cilantro, some cubed, roughly cubed papas, some potatoes, a half an onion, just roughly chopped. Celery, this is just 2 stalks of celery. Some cabbage, this is about half a cabbage, just roughly chopped. 2 calabaza or squash for you. They're kind of thicker, chunked as well, or sliced. Rice, I like my rice in the actual soup in the caldo. And then you're gonna need some spices, so salt and pepper, your basics, and then of course your garlic and comino, and then, as my mom says, a cuchara of your nor de pollo. So that's what you're gonna need. So we're gonna go ahead and start the process of putting everything in our pot and get everything going. So let's go ahead and get that started. Alright, so we have the chicken in, and then next we're gonna add our kind of our flavoring. So we're gonna add our onion, we're gonna add our comino and our garlic powder, our nor de pollo, our celery. And y'all, if you don't like a lot of celery, I don't really like a lot of celery, so you can cut it in half. So yeah. All right. So we're gonna give this a little stir. We're gonna add more water because we want enough to like cover all of our chicken and then some, because once we start adding all of our vegetables and everything, we want plenty of water, of course, in there. So, all right. And then this tomatoes, they're just gonna add that color to your caldo. And your tomatoes are gonna break down, so there's no need to like squish them or anything like that. Add more water. Alright, y'all, so as you can see, the water is enough to cover our chicken and then some. So once we start adding all of our vegetables, then it's gonna get full. So we're gonna go ahead and let this guy come to a boil, and we're gonna cook it for about 45 minutes because we want this chicken to be pretty much cooked through. So we want that chicken to kind of be falling off the bone a bit. And then we're gonna add kind of our root vegetables, our carrots and our papas and our cabbage. I like mine to be kind of smooshy cabbage. That's a very technical term. So I like really soft cabbage, but it's all preference. So if you like a more cabbage with a bite, then you can add that closer to the end. I like a smooshy cabbage, so you can definitely add that in later. Same with your calabaza. You can add your calabaza in closer to the end if you like them a little more hard. I like mine really smooshy as well. So yeah, so we'll just kind of keep this going and then we'll be back for that later. Just kidding guys, I forgot to add the salt and pepper. But because the norte pollo already has a lot of salt, we're not going to add that much salt. But I do want to add some. And you always want to flavor as you go. So keep that in mind too. That little mix. So it's been about 25 minutes. As you can see, the chicken is starting to kind of pull off of the bone there. So we're gonna go ahead and start adding our root vegetables. So those veggies are gonna be taking a little longer to cook, and then we're gonna add a little bit more water. So we're gonna add our papas and our carrots. We're gonna also add our cilantro as well, so that way the cilantro can actually gain flavor to our caldo. So like I said before, it's all up to your palate. So if y'all don't like a lot of carrots, you're not a big carrot family, don't add a lot of carrots, add more papas. We also didn't grow up putting corn in ours, but I know a lot of people do put corn in their caldo. That's really a preference, so totally up to y'all there. Alright, so we have all of this goodness here. Gonna add a bit more water. We're gonna bring it back to a boil and then just let it go for another 20 minutes or so, and at half of that, so like about 10-15, we're gonna add the rice. As you know, rice takes about 15-20 minutes, more like 20, to kind of cook, but since that water is boiling hot, it shouldn't take more than 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and add more water, and we'll keep this hot tub going. And remember y'all, taste as you go. So like at the end, that's when you want to add more salt. It's your family's palate. So if y'all have some salty people and y'all want to add more salt, add more salt. If you don't add a lot of salt. That norte pollo kind of just gets it going. I use chicken drumsticks. There, you can always use whole chicken that's already kind of cut up, and you want chicken that has the bone, the skin, because that's where the flavor comes from in this caldo, in this soup. So you don't want to use chicken breast because sure, it's a healthy piece of chicken, it's going to be kind of bland because it doesn't have a lot of flavor there. So we're going to bring this guy back to a boil. Once it does, we're going to go ahead and do that and check on it. I'm gonna actually add my cabbage now. Because I like smooshy cabbage. So I'm gonna add my cabbage now. So, all right. Make sure our chicken is still cooking, guys, so bring this to a boil. It smells so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good right now in my little casita. So, all right, we're gonna keep this party going. We'll see y'all in a bit. And like I said, in about 10-15 minutes, we're gonna add our rice. And we're gonna add our calabacita, our squash, so everything can get going. But yeah, it smells so good. Okay. So this caldo has been going for about 10 minutes since we've added those papas in, and we're gonna go ahead and add in the calabaza, the squash, and the rice. So if you prefer, you can always cook your rice, arroz, separately and then serve that on the side of your soup. I like mine all together, so it's always a preference. Alright, so we're gonna add in our squash. And this is about a half a cup of rice. It doubles, so don't forget that. Alright, so we're gonna give this a stir. And as you can see, this chicken is like falling off the bone, and it is pretty much good to go. So this still has about 20 minutes to go, so I like my squash squishy, if you will, falling apart, as my mom says. So it's gonna go for a while. So we're gonna add a bit more water, bring this back to a boil. Because we're adding water, we still want to adjust the spices. If you need to add more salt and things like that at the end, you always want to add more salt. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. And y'all, this squash is going to get very thin and cook down, so it is going to disappear into this caldo. So we're gonna stir it around. Y'all, it smells so good. I'm ready for this to be over so I can have a bowl, but I gotta be patient. 20-ish more minutes. I can hold on, I think. So, all right. since I added the squash and the rice. So as you can see, that rice is cooking. It's almost done. Our squash is a little squishy. Our chicken is falling off of the bone, and it smells so good in here. So look at all that. It looks so good. This is when you want to do a little bit of your tasting. You want to see if you need to add more salt, more pepper, more comino. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Also, you want to make sure you are blowing on your caldo when you taste it, and make sure you don't burn your little mouth, because that does happen quite a bit. So we're gonna go ahead and taste that. Give it a few quick cool off blows there. Tastes pretty good. I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. Alright, so we're gonna add a bit more salt. Stir that in. So this probably just needs about 5, maybe 7 more minutes, just so that rice gets all nice and absorbed. As you can see, that chicken is falling right off the bone. It's ready to go. You can serve this on the side, or sorry, you can serve crackers on the side. You can serve corn tortillas on the side, flour tortillas. We grew up eating crackers on the side, just some salty crackers, some tortillas. That's always good. Some people eat cornbread. My husband loves cornbread. We're just gonna have some corn tortillas on the side of this. So this is just gonna keep on going for about 5 more minutes, and we'll come back and check on that. Alright, y'all, so it's been about 20 minutes since I added the rice and the squash, the calabaza, and everything is nice and tender and ready to be put in a bowl. So we're gonna go ahead and plate it up, bowl it up, I guess. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. So like I said before, you can serve this caldo with tortillas, corn tortillas, saltine crackers. Some people like it with cornbread. I'm gonna just heat up a couple of corn tortillas and roll those up and serve it on the side of this caldito. So let's go ahead and get that all together. All right, y'all, so thanks for coming along and staying the whole time. Such a long process, but well worth it. My casita smells so good. Such a very heartwarming, tummy warming recipe. It's so good. Oh, steam is still coming off of it. It's still very warm. So I have some corn tortillas here. You can pair it with some crackers. We always ate it with crackers. Flour tortillas, cornbread. My husband's a sucker for some cornbread. I'll be making some cornbread, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below. Let me know what you like to kind of pair with your caldo. What other soups you might want to try. There's some more soups coming. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, I hope to see y'all again next week. Until then, we'll see you then. All right, thanks guys.